Welcome to Thursday night's Healthy Living Inspirations. And we're going to get going because I want to honor and respect your time. And I have a lot of information I want to power pack tonight. So let's get going. I'm going to share the screen, and I want everybody to tell me if they can see my slides. If you cannot see my slides, hold on. All right. Now, can you see my slides? Give me a wave, say yes, or a thumbs down. Okay,
Yeah,
thumbs up. You can see my slides. All right. And there's other people that will be coming on board. I'll have to catch an eye for that. But let's get started. I always get started with a scripture verse because everything in my life, the foundation of it is coming from God's word and truth. I found that truth is my best friend. And why? Because truth will never stab you in the back. Truth never changes. It's the same yesterday, today, and forever. So one of my scripture verses start out this class this evening is, we are called to be different, not indifferent. Now let me explain. Psalms 50, starting at verse actually 16, all the way through that Psalms, talks about that God is observing mankind and their behaviors and their lifestyles. And so this is actually my exhortation of that passage as to why we need to be different in the world and not indifferent to when we see evil. There's a saying going around right now that says, if you see something, say something. But I mean, that could go any way, right? The enemy could use that to actually tattletale on somebody, your next door neighbor. But let's say it was against the law to read your Bible, and all of a sudden, your next door neighbor's an atheist, and he, picks up the hotline and tattletales on you. They do that in China. They've been doing it in other countries. So it makes a difference as to what stand you're going to take. So when you saw how the enemy was robbing the people, you stayed silent. And this is God actually saying, I have an ought with the people that live their life in such a way that when they see evil, they're not being different. They're not standing up and saying something about it. You thought your voice would not make a difference. Maybe that's why we don't open our mouth or why we stay silent at times. But I am here to rebuke you. It is because of your silence that thieves are still robbing the people. And then he goes on to say, order your conversation in a way that exposes the thief and glorifies righteous, right living. So that's actually what we're able to do with this awesome, incredible vehicle, Neolife. We're able to actually stand up, cast a vote for truth, and be able to share with people some good news in the midst of a lot of evil in the world. And as we do that, we sometimes have to expose the evil deeds that are going on in the world. Our coffee shop chat actually spends a lot of time exposing the fraudulent activity out in the marketplace. Why? Because we want people to know the quality difference of something, because it may make a difference when they are struggling or fighting a specific health challenge. So let's get started. Tonight, I've been asked several questions about these amazing things called flavonoids. Now, when the big C word started a couple of years ago, it was everybody was going out and getting something called quercetin. And it was like, oh, I've never heard of that before. Well, quercetin is actually a flavonoid family nutrient. So let's get started. Let's take a look at what is a flavonoid. Well, flavonoids are phytonutrients, and all that means is nutrients that God created to help fight against aging and oxidation and inflammation and chronic disease. And these phytonutrients God put within our plants. You see that in Genesis chapter 1 when he talks about, I'm going to take the seed bearing fruit of the garden and have it produce after its own kind, and it's going to be for your nourishment. Well, these are specific families of phytonutrients. So in other words, when you have an army, you have different parts of the army that does different activities, or they fight specific ways. They're trained to fight in a specific way, and they're trained to protect specific areas in a war. Well, God created nutrients from foods and even animals that fight in specific ways. And these phytonutrients called flavonoids have a specific job to do. They are water-soluble antioxidants. They're part of the polyphenol. Poly means many. Phenol means powerful antioxidants families. And the flavonoids consist of over 4,000 of them. There are 5 groups total that work together because they are families, and they do work together beautifully. They don't argue, they don't complain, they don't murmur. They actually work together beautifully, synergistically. There's the different, if you notice the pictures, there's different hues, like the dark red in a tomato, or the strawberry, or the bright yellow in the lemon, or the green in the kiwi, or the purple in the cabbage. Those all are nutrients that are found in those dark colored hues of those fruits and vegetables. So these are some examples of everyday flavonoid rich foods. Fresh fruits and vegetables are generally the top choice for getting plenty of bioflavonoids. Bio means the 2 different parts. You got your polyphenols, and flavonoids are a category of those polyphenols. Here are some of the most popular ways to get these for helpful nutrients in your diet every day. Never choose a green pepper. Why? Because you're pretty much just getting some water in a green pepper. Very little, if any, nutrient value. So always choose the yellow or the red peppers. They contain 3 times more vitamin C than even orange juice does, according to some medical sources. Scientists agree that raw bell peppers are an effective way to get some of your bioflavonoids into your daily diet. How about strawberries? And always we choose, if we can, organic. Why? Because they have less pesticides, and they've been grown with a specific kind of fertilizers and specific kind of pesticides and herbicides. You still need to wash them. That would be another class on how to wash your fruits and vegetables. But strawberries are luscious red berries, a great source of bioflavonoids, other berry types rich in these kind of antioxidants. Anything with a berry on its name, blueberry, blackberry, raspberry, boysenberry, elderberry, is going to be packed filled with polyphenols. And so citrus fruits also are a powerful way of getting these flavonoids and bioflavonoids. Oranges are a significant source of bioflavonoids, lemons, limes. Always choose a variety. Peaches, nectarines, and other fruits contain vitamin C and bioflavonoids, super antioxidants. How about broccoli? Yes, broccoli, the green vegetable, has a lot of vitamin C, as well as some other essential vitamins for a healthy diet. So obviously, if your digestion is a little bit running on the poor side, you want to saute your vegetables a little bit before you consume them, because sometimes eating a lot of raw vegetables is way too much, let's say, fiber for a person to handle. And also there may be some some parts of that broccoli from the cruciferous standpoint that might be a little bit hard on your digestion. So just sauteing them lightly actually helps with this quite a bit. So more flavonoid-rich foods are Brussels sprouts, a hearty meal that you can actually make a lot of recipes for Brussels sprouts. How about tropical fruits? I had a gentleman over last night. He was telling me about visiting a store in the Lakeland area. And he said, you've got to go there because they have kinds of fruits you'll never see at Publix. And I started naming off some exotic different fruits. He goes, yep, they got that. Yep, they got that. Yeah, they got this. So tropical type of fruits, exotic fruits, mangoes, papayas, soursop, star fruit, dragon fruits, and other nutritional elements are packed in under their skin of rich flavonoids. These are becoming more accessible at supermarkets everywhere, and we want to always try to eat a variety. Garlic is considered a very powerful flavonoid. This is part of where they actually get your quercetin from, garlic or onion. Most accounts, garlic is a superfood. Our food culture has long been aware of this anti-inflammatory properties of garlic. But it's also rich in bioflavonoids. And it has a wonderful, it's a healing food. It's in many research cases, they've shown that it actually works better than an antibiotic for counteracting infections. How about spinach? And make sure you buy your spinach and your strawberries that are organic. Remember your EWG, your Environmental Working Group, and the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. Spinach and strawberries sits on the top of the most toxic when you don't buy them organic. So yeah, Popeye wasn't kidding when he said this stuff is power packed with some rich, powerful nutrients. And spinach is a good all-purpose nutrient. And try it, saute a little bit of it. If you want to make some chicken, put it over a bed of spinach. It's quite delicious. How about teas? Oh, yes, especially green tea is another powerful antioxidant and part of the flavonoid families. It's a very rich element, contributes to longevity and good health. Lots of health-minded caffeine drinkers are switching from coffee to especially the green tea for in the mornings. And I love our Elevate, and it is an extract from the green tea, and our Neolife tea also has that. So here are also some others. Onion basil leaf. Grow you a pot of some basil. Pick off a few leaves, put them in your fresh salads or in your sauteed vegetables, adding a few of the flavonoids. Cranberries, garlic, cabbage, kale, Brussels sprouts, asparagus. Yes, I try to have asparagus at least once a week because of its nutrients. How about beans, kidney beans, garden peas, adzuki beans, everyday rich foods? How about dill? I made salmon this week and made a wonderful fresh dill sauce to go with it. And the dill just added just a wonderful aroma, but also it adds these wonderful flavonoids. Again, basil, thyme, cayenne pepper, coriander, peppermint, chamomile, and aniseed. These are all spices you can keep in your cabinets or even grow them out in your patios or front or back porches during the winter time, keeping them away from the cold if you're in the cold climates. Benefits, and everybody wants to know, all right, what is the big benefit with eating or getting me some flavonoids in my body? So let's talk about some of those benefits. How about reducing the risk of cancer? Cancer's on the rise, and it's not intended to decline, it's intended to incline. So there are studies that actually they've done with the Neolife flavonoid formula showing a 94% reduction in tumor growth. And this study was done at a government study laboratory in 1996. And, think about it. When have you had anyone come and tell you that's battled cancer to tell them that their doctor told them about this study of flavonoids? Wow. How about reduction in heart disease? And these are all studies that's been done on top universities that are very valid, solid rock studies showing the benefits of flavonoids. How about boosting your immunity? How about anti-inflammatory? 6 times stronger than an omega-3 alone. So imagine if you're taking the Neolife salmon oil and you're pairing it up with an amazing flavonoid. Protection from free radical damage. So it's an anti-inflammatory and an antioxidant, anti-aging, overall health protection. It's wonderful for allergies. It's an antibacterial virus infection. If I get a sore throat going on or my gland starts swelling, I pop a flavonoid in my mouth and I just start sucking on it to go down my throat instantly. How about bleeding disorders? There are studies to show that blood clots and other issues in your cardiovascular system and your capillaries, blood vessels, actually work better than the meds that they prescribe. That's the power of God's pharmacy, Pharmcy. So these are some pretty impressive benefits, wouldn't you say? They're very impressive. So let's take a look at the Neolife flavonoids. I always love to talk about this because Neolife has over 32 pioneered first in the industry. Flavonoids happens to be one of those many amazing pioneered research. Neolife flavonoid complex, and only flavonoid of its kind with all 5 classes of flavonoids, to include flavones, flavanones, flavanols, anthocyanins, catechins, plus allergic acid for anti-cancer protection. Oh my goodness, those are just big words to say we are family and we're all here to punch out whatever the issue is in your body. So when you're fighting something and you need the most protection, you want to have the most strategically trained military standing at your borders, right? And so this is the way to do it, to have these flavonoids and all their family members standing at the borders of our cells that are being attacked on a daily basis. Here are some more benefits of flavonoids. They work with vitamin C. As a matter of fact, one of our flavonoids is equal to consuming 4 vitamin C to protect the watery areas in around the cells and in your body fluids, like blood, enhancing the absorption, stability, and action, and the other. They're good for dermatitis, psoriasis, arthritis. So you see the itises and the itises and the more itises. Whenever you see that word itis, it just simply means inflammation. And we've already seen that the clinical studies show very powerfully that flavonoids actually act as a powerful anti-inflammatory, and especially in your water tissue around your cells. So allergies, sore throats, I already talked to you about putting it in my mouth as a lozenge, at risk for the C word or in the or if you're in the middle of battling it, frequent colds, flus, and viruses. How about that? Try to actually get some extra flavonoids. And that's why Neolife actually developed this formula, because there's no way that you can eat bushels of those amazing exotic fruits and vegetables every day. So here's the way to get it. How about protecting your heart? Because you're decreasing oxidation of the LDL, reducing platelet stickiness. What is that? That's blood clots. Again, our flavonoids came in with some research showing it worked better than a script from a white coat at thinning the blood naturally and helping the body to deal with the propensity for blood clotting. Improve circulation, pain of any kind, in general pain or joint pain, swelling, generalized or joint swelling, and fever from infection. Who would ever thought that if you're battling some type of virus or a flu, and you've got a fever, that taking some extra flavonoids is actually going to boost the body's immunity and help it to fight back. Wow. So we've just seen some powerful punches of benefits that flavonoids has and offers us. So again, Neolife delivers the whole family. I can't express the power of the entire family of Neolife, how important it is. Neolife Flavonoid Complex, each tablet, one optimal serving of flavonoid-rich fruits and vegetables. The whole food basis of it actually is extracted from cranberries, kale, green tea, beets, elderberries, raspberries, blueberries, red and black grapes, oranges, lemons, and grapefruit. That's what's in our flavonoids. It's got 50 milligrams of natural vitamin C, enhances absorption and protects potency of the bioflavonoids and the flavonoids. Now, a flavonoid is a non-acidic vitamin C. So a lot of people that say that I have, let's say, sensitivity to taking vitamin C, many of them can take the flavonoids because it is a non-acidic vitamin C. Now, I want to show this graph here. Why? Because remember, I started out with we have to expose some of the fraudulent activity out there so that people can actually understand the quality difference that Neolife brings to the table. So right here is actually a research lab study that was done with the one of our Neolife formulas that has our polyphenols and flavonoids in it, called the Tray Herbal Essence Drink. And they actually tested a product that was on the market called Mona V, Zango, and Tahitian Noni. In their time, they were big. And it showed that they did not contain any standard polyphenols. They didn't contain any punycollagen content, resveratrol content, alpha lipoic acid content, or they didn't even show an ORAC value, which is actually a way that they can actually standardize the antioxidant value. And so you can see here that this study was done at a laboratory, and these products were empty, but the Neolife actually tested out for the standardized polyphenol and flavonoid content. So wouldn't you rather spend $1 more on a product that you're going to get something out of, a benefit out of, than to spend whatever dollars on a product that is not going to deliver, is actually empty? And in price comparison, a bottle of our flavonoids is about 1/3 the price of the Mona V bottle, the Zango bottle, or the Tahitian Noni bottle. So 1 cup of green tea, actually 2 of our flavonoids, is equal to drinking 1 cup of organic green tea. It's an exclusive blend of the flavonoid-rich extracts, and we talked about that. And it also contains flavonoids representative of all 5 classes, and we talked about those 5 classes: anthocyanins, catechins, what's important is as they naturally occur in human food chain fruits and vegetables. So that's really important because a lot of companies actually get their flavonoids from pine bark, from pond scums, from sources that are not found in the human food chain, and haven't been clinically tested. And many of them that have been clinically tested actually show that they do more damage than good. So deliver all the family power, all 5 family members, contains ellagic acid also as added benefit for antioxidant, anti-tumor protection. 100% natural from human food chain, no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives or sweeteners. Flavonoid complex is water-soluble antioxidants directly from nature, the way it should be. Diverse whole extracts, again, green tea, kale, cranberries, elderberries, red and black grapes. And I love this research that was done with the Neo-Life flavonoids at the U.S. Cancer Research Institute. Their protocols to protect and defend cell tissue and support immune function. And with the other slide, I showed I think a 92 or 97% reduction in tumor growth done with the Neo-Life flavonoid complex. These are amazing research. This is amazing information. There are no studies to show that pine bark will do this or pond scum will do that. It's real human food from the human food chain that you're going to get these kinds of results with the whole family for that synergistic power. So flavonoid complex, whole food ingredients, our exclusive blend of flavonoid-rich extracts and concentrates of our added vitamin C enhances absorption. Laboratory-specific amounts. Remember, it's tested independently in a lab to prove that we have this standardized levels of flavonoids from these food components from the human food chain. And there are hundreds of clinical studies showing green tea flavonoids and their health benefits. It's the broad complex. I can't stress enough of the whole family, all 5 classes. And each tablet provides phytonutrient value of optimal serving of flavonoid-rich fruits and vegetables. Now, Neolife is a nutritional company. They've been doing nutritional research for 65 years. And the whole purpose of our research was to put back into our daily intake of God's pharmacy what man has taken out through our farming practices and through food preservation that's being taken out. And our nutrient values have depleted over the years because of this. So here is a great way of just daily adding those flavonoids. It doesn't take a lot. You don't have to take the whole bottle. And the flavonoids are a low hit on the budget. They're actually amazing value for the price point of the flavonoids. I'm looking for my flavonoid in my little bag here today. It's under $30 for 60 tablets. So you're getting a powerful, powerful value there for a very low impact on the budget. And it's a way to meet the need, and it's a way to have something even in your, what I call your medicine cabinet. Again, when you get a sore throat or your body is fighting something, you can actually use it quickly. So standards that make a difference, it makes a difference in how you grow those grapes or those cranberries, or where the green tea comes from. Does it come from China, grown in toxic soil and toxic water and toxic environments? How is it harvested? Is it ripened? How is it transported? The essence of nature with a foundation in science. So your Neolife brings to us the highest standards of quality, which is the essence of nature with a foundation in science. So I'm going to play for us right now an actual video. I hope it works. Let's see if it works. And I want to make sure everybody can hear this. Hopefully everybody can hear it, but I'm going to begin to play it. Oh, it is not going to play. All right, so I copied it, but it did not copy the actual link. All right, so hold on. All right, I'm going to go over to my other link and play that link. So make a choice for change. When all is said and done, you only have one of two choices: to do nothing and go on ignoring the warnings and run the risk of chronic disease, or rise up with this information and take action. Data collected from 10 years of study included that 96% of Americans still do not get enough fruits and vegetable nutrients every single day. Worse yet, more than 9 out of 10 children today fail to get sufficient fruits and vegetables. It's no wonder we hear so much about health problems. We cannot allow this to continue. Remember my scripture verse in the beginning, Psalm 50, verse 16 through the finishing of the chapter. When you see something, we have to rise up in the context of what is right and say something. And so finding ways to get more fruits and vegetables into our diet is critical. But when we can't, the best option is Neolife's whole food, human food chain nutritional supplements drawn directly from the extract of fruits and vegetables that nature provides, and a powerful nutritional support. Are you going to leave things as they are and do nothing? Oh, no, we're not. Why? Because we are a group of rise up, get her done, and doers. Or are you going to take action and use all the whole food solutions at your disposal and strive for optimal health? We're going to choose to strive for optimal health. So I'm going to actually pull out of this PowerPoint here, and I am going to go to another PowerPoint where I believe that I can find that video I want to play of Don Lawson. You're going to love it. And cellular health. Okay. I think polyphenols is down here. Well, it's not there. Okay, you can see how many PowerPoints I have, and I just had it up, but it's, let me see where it's her cellular health, cleaning protein, detox. And let's see here if I can see it up in here. Antioxidants. Maybe it's here. Antioxidants, polyphenols, and carotenoids. That's not the one I had. Polyphenols and carotenoids. Maybe it is. Antioxidants. Does anybody see a polyphenol file on polyphenols? Yes, here it is. All right, that's the one I'm looking for. This is the one that has that video on it at the very end. This is my long version. Want to give you all the short version. All righty. Here it is. There we go. Let's see if it'll play it. Well, and it is not going to play it. All right, I didn't test this to make sure it was going to work before I, okay. All righty, let me go down here. Hey, all right, let me see if there's, I wouldn't know how to find it. Anyhow, I have to send you the link because it's not working. It did work in the past. Oh, hold on a second.
Did you see it in boards?
No, no. I think the reason why it won't work is because, hold on.
You share sound?
I have to go to current slide. It has to be in this mode to work, I believe. No, for some reason it's not working. All right. Last time I used it, it did work. So, all right. Oh, well. Okay. Well, we tried on it. Oh, let's see if this will work. And it may be that it may have changed its link. They may have put it on Rumble, and this is a YouTube access. I don't know. Let me go down here and put it on. Let me put it on here and see if it'll play here.
The phytodefense moves then to the flavonoids. Now, GNLD and our flavonoids, we again show ourselves out to be superior in that 70 years ago, science discovered the first flavonoid called bioflavonoid found in the citrus pulp. And the scientists didn't do any more with flavonoids. All of our competitors use flavonoids. Flavonoids is wonderful for vitamin C. You know, from vitamin C and 2 amino acids, you build collagen. Collagen's your body glue. Collagen sticks every cell to the next cell, sticks all the little hair fibers together so you have long stranded hair. It puts all your soft tissue, your skin together, so all your skin stuck to the next skin cell with collagen. The toughest tissue in your body, the enamel on your teeth, is held as collagen, holds the enamel together. Collagen holds the calcium in your bones to give you skeletal structure. You need collagen. They found that if you add flavonoid to vitamin C, you can make, from the volume of foodstuffs in your system, you can make 2,000% more collagen with flavonoid than without flavonoid. So flavonoid makes a difference in the amount of collagen you make, and you need lots of collagen. But everybody just put up with the bioflavonoid. We assigned the scientists to the study. We found 4,000 flavonoids. Can you believe it? That subject was that big and the rest of the industry was just ignoring it? It's a monster subject. And we, in our flavonoid complex, are the only company that has the entire spectrum of the flavonoids in the human food chain. And our next best competitor only has one. This is amazing how superior we are. Now let's talk about a few of the flavonoids we've added. One flavonoid is anthocyanin. As you did the study with the French, you remember the French? They eat these richy, saucy diets, and they're supposed to have worse heart disease. But in one area of heart disease, which is strokes and cerebral hemorrhages, they're superior. And they wonder, what is the French doing? What's the French doing? Now, how many of you know where they found the answer in the French study? Red wine. Red wine. Now, later they found out it had nothing to do with the alcohol. It was the grape skins, the colors, the black and purple grapes. In there is the one flavonoid called anthocyanin. What anthocyanins will do for you is toughen the capillary rigidity. They will grab a hold of the capillary and protect you against high blood pressure. Your blood pressure hits you, most of the time, your blood pressure hits you at nighttime when you're asleep. For some reason, you may have eaten too big of a meal or too much salt or whatever, and you happily go to bed, and while you're asleep, here comes the blood pressure. And blood pressure is coming on, and it's coming after you, and you're sleeping. And if the capillary in the brain starts to get a little too much pressure, go pss, 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 a little bit of blood. If it leaks a teaspoon of blood, you've got a stroke. You're gonna be dragging your leg and can't do much. If you get a tablespoon worth of blood, you're gonna have a cerebral hemorrhage and die right then. And so you got to meet that capillary to not be leaking when the blood pressure comes up. So what you do is you get the anthocyanin in there, and we in Flavonoid Complex is the only company that has anthocyanin in a product. So we've got the anthocyanin in there, a full serving of anthocyanin in Flavonoid Complex. The anthocyanin gets a hold of the capillary and says, okay, get ready, here comes the blood pressure. And they're holding on, the blood pressure comes up, and the capillary goes, holds on, the blood pressure comes up, and the anthocyanin goes, and hold it on, and the blood pressure comes up, both go, and all of a sudden, the blood pressure goes down. You say, oh, we made it, we survived. We didn't pop, we didn't leak the blood, no stroke, no cerebral hemorrhage. And with anthocyanin, you can tolerate a higher level of blood pressure for a higher length of time and survive what would normally put a person into crippled, paralyzed condition or kill them because of anthocyanin. You need anthocyanin. We are the only company selling it. Aren't you glad somebody sells anthocyanin? Another one is catechin from green tea. The green tea catechin is famous, and it was a study done in China. The Chinese study was done with the Chinese men that drank straight spirits. And of course, that's the wrong way to drink. You're going to drink, dilute it. First, I need to tell you, don't drink. But that's not going to go very far. So when you do drink, you need to have catechin. They found that the straight spirits drinker people had the highest rate of tongue cancer, throat cancer, mouth cancers. So if you want a good cancer right on the side of your tongue, just get the straight spirits. In the process, they had the green tea study. They had half of the group taking a cup of green tea. They were so astounded about the results. They thought that catechin was a dream come true for mouth cancer. Catechin in your mouth is the #1 answer to block tongue cancer, throat cancer, mouth cancer. It's incredible. So if you're going to drink, you got to get a cup of green tea every day. Now, if you don't want to drink the cup of green tea, we have put the amount of a cup of green tea in our 2 flavonoid tablets. Now, if you're a drinker, or if you know somebody that is a drinker, they can't just swallow it like other people do. You have to put the 2 tablets in your mouth and suck them. And get the catechin in your mouth, on your tongue, in your mouth. But the catechin study was fantastic. And so you remember, some of you may want to just suck on them and get that catechin in your mouth. It's wonderful for preventing various cancers of the mouth. And so we have gone the extra mile of putting all the various flavonoids. They have found that the full flavonoid family can slow the growth of cancer by 90%. Now, if it just slowed up by 10 or 15%, they may not have even bothered to publish the study. But they said if you get the full amount of flavonoids in a day, it will slow the cancer growth by 90%. Let's talk about what that means. It doesn't cure cancer, it slows its growth. But if you get the full amount of flavonoids are in 2 tablets. In our 2 tablets, we give you the full amount of flavonoids your body needs. Breast cancer is too quick. Breast cancer can get to the stage from the first cell being malignant to crossing the line of no return in 2 years. It can cross the line of no return in 2 years. If you find it after it crosses the line of no return, you're going to be a hero with surgeries, and you're going to be in the class motivating other people while you're dying, and then you're finished. You've got to find it in time. 2 years is too quick. If you take 2 flavonoids, it slows that growth by 90%. A 90% slowdown of that growth takes a 2-year maturity, 20 years to cross the line of no return. 20 years means you now have time to find your problem. 20 years means you find it before it crosses the line. Your surgery, chemo, radiation can save your life because you bought the time to get yourself cured. And I think that's absolutely important. Every lady here needs 2 flavonoids every day, so that if you finally do find a problem, you have found it in time. This is very important. Flavonoids will do this. It's wonderful to have them. And it's wonderful there is one company that decided to do it right.
Wow. Well, so I think you get the picture that this is amazing. All right. Gotta figure out how to get out of here. Yay. Stop. Share. Did y'all see how I just took my flavonoids?
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Can I ask
Go
a
right ahead.
When you're recording this, when we share it, will it play that part of this?
Yes, I haven't stopped
Okay.
recording yet. I was gonna
Okay,
ask
because I
if
want to send this.
anybody, yeah,
Yeah,
does
my
anybody have?
stepfather had throat cancer, and he's dealing with a lot of different things, and I want to get him on the product. So that will.
Awesome. And
Yep.
that's beautiful. Does anybody have a testimony real quick that can share a testimony while I am also recording? So unmute, unmute. I have a testimony coming from, well, is Vanessa on?
Yes, I'm on.
All right. Everybody here is praying for you. And I want everybody to put Vanessa Jackson and her husband Deck on your prayer list also, because Vanessa is going through a battle, but she is not alone. And we're just praising God for victory already. And so Vanessa went to see her naturopathic doctor yesterday. And what was some good news that she shared?
Well, she just said that things were going in the right direction.
Mhm.
And, she told me to, stay on the product. And just the only thing she wanted me to do was add some exercise to it. And then she said, and just thank the Lord that you're going to come on the other side of what's going on in your body. So that was some good news.
That was good news. And something has increased that needs to increase.
My adrenals.
Reason why is because your adrenals is kind of like a thermometer as to how your body is running. And it's kind of like a gas tank. And when it's on empty versus it's filling up. So praise God, your adrenals are responding and they're coming up. So that is very good news. So everybody here, if you're not aware, Vanessa and Deck Jackson are ministers there in Edenton, Georgia, and they need your prayers. Anybody
Amen.
else that would like to share a quick testimony before I before I pause or
Yeah, Levon, I have a testimony. One of my club members, I started her, someone recommended that I start her on flavonoids. She's been having bouts on and off with dizziness and vomiting and all kinds of other stuff, and she's not sure where it's actually coming from, but she has hypotension, she has low blood pressure, and if she doesn't eat properly and drink enough water, she can get these tremendous, horrible attacks of nausea, vomiting, dizziness. And she started taking it a couple months ago, I guess, and it's really helping her a lot. It's really helping her a lot. She's had I think she's only had one episode since she started taking it. So that's been huge, huge for her. She's 83 years old and she's just, she's a trooper.
Jean, that is awesome. That's incredible. So here's an example. It doesn't matter what age your body is, and that flavonoids work in a way that is helping her make some chemical adjustments for the minerals and inflammation and oxidation and stresses at the cell level. And it's able to add some antioxidants that her body needed in the circulatory system. That's amazing. I love that. I love that. Especially with, you don't have to be 20 years old. You can be 80, 90, and even 100 and get benefits from introducing whole food nutrients into your body. Anybody else before I cut off the recording for a testimony?
Go ahead. Did someone else want to say something?
Go ahead, Marlena.
Okay. I wanted to give a testimony for Gary Cooper, actually, in Thomasville. He actually came aboard in December, and he had eczema like all of his life. And he got started on our products, and he will testify that he no longer has the itching like he did before, because his wife would tell you that he was scratching at night like a dog and he couldn't get any sleep. She couldn't get any sleep. And his redness has gone away on his skin. So it's from internal to external. And he is just so grateful and thankful that he was introduced to these products.
Magnesium. My friend for 3 years, she had it for almost 50, almost 60 years. The last 5 years, she's been free of it. I'm trying to get her on our products, but magnesium cream and oil. So if he still has it on the surface of the skin, if he gets the magnesium to do it along with and try doing the internal magnesium, it's some kind of magnesium imbalance. She's completely cleared.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. He
Yeah.
uses the green and bathes in that and all the other, the skincare products. So
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. But if he's not taking magnesium, I want to add that to his regime.
Yeah, I know his wife is. I'm not sure if he is. I'll have to check with him tomorrow to see if he's taking some of it too. Thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely. Anybody else with a shout out testimony?
I've got a shout out testimony,
All right,
Lavonna.
Christine. That's from
So-
Naples.
So I had terrible edema in my feet, my ankles, and my lower legs. And also, I would take 24 bathroom trips during the day and evening. My bladder would not empty. My bladder would not completely fill. And I went ahead and started on Neolife. And within a week of the breakfast solution, my bladder completely began filling up, completely emptying. All the edema left my feet, my ankles, my lower legs. I lost weight. I feel great. And that's approximately now 2 years and 3 months. So I just praise God, and I'm so thankful for Neolife and having met you, Lavon.
And that's Chrissy Mann from Naples, Florida.
I have a testimony.
Yes, go ahead, Anthy.
So I had systemic yeast. I had mold throughout my apartment, as you know, and I went on the protocols for mold and increased it a little bit. But I went on it in November, and by December 30th, when was it? No, by December 15th, I was on it. The first of November, I think, is when I started the protocols. After taking the protocol that my specialist wanted me on and the protocol that Chrissy recommended and you, to my internal disease doctor, who was an MD, who looked at both of them. And I said, okay, which one would you take? And she said, well, let's try the Neolife. The other one's going to be a lot longer and it's going to be really hard on your body. So I did the Neolife, and I was on it from the beginning of November until the 15th of December, and did the spit tests, and they checked it, and the aspergillus, which is the mold I had throughout my body, was gone. There's none retained. I do have some yeast, which I'm working on now getting rid of but I'm not real good with I still wanted to eat some things and do some things that are real good, but they taste real good. So anyhow, it's taking a little longer for the yeast, which I'm sure is going to clear out as well. But the mold came back completely negative, which the doctor was thrilled at, and we're going to be making a presentation to her. She was open to that if it worked, and she was surprised. So that was really good. They don't have a lot to offer you if you have mold. I have several of my friends down here. It's a problem down here after the hurricane. People get mold. I was on a CPAP machine, so the mold was going into my lungs. And I have a friend who has a lung ball, which it's called, which is the mold metastasizes in the lungs. So I'm trying to get her on to the Neolife now. because the doctors aren't giving her much hope to be able to help her. And I know that this works since it worked for me, and I am completely mold free. So that's a good thing. And I feel healthy and I lost weight and I don't have any inflammation anymore. So those are all positives from it. And I was on the breakfast solution and I still take the breakfast solution once or twice a day now. And just because it makes me feel healthy and gives me energy, along with I add the Elevate to my breakfast solution for lunchtime. And that way it takes me through the rest of the day without getting that afternoon zag.
I know, it gives you the zip in the slack.
Yeah,
Yeah,
without giving you the shakes. That's why I like it.
Exactly. Zippity doo dah and the slack of the day without the shakes. Yay,
Yeah,
yay,
and,
yay.
yeah, and another testimony. So being an artist, my hands have to be steady, and I do caricatures as well as the fine art. It's not so required for the fine art, but when I'm doing the caricatures, I do cartoon portraits and the outlining of the hands, I can't shake. When I do an early morning thing, I needed the caffeine, but the caffeine would make my hands shake. So it would make the drawings, clients didn't notice, but I noticed. It made me really obsessive about it. So since I switched to the Elevate, I can do that. I do it in the morning and I do it in the afternoon, and I can do a 5 or an 8 hour job without my hands being a problem. And you get the extra energy from all the nutrition that you take in the Pro pack. And I have a stress pack I do, or the Prime pack that I've added to it. So it gives me that extra bit that I need to carry me through the day if I'm not eating on a job. So I'm done. Thank you.
That is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. That is incredible. From mold to energy to psoriasis to whatever ails you, or it can be a life-threatening situation. God has the solution. And I'm so very grateful that Neolife has been preserved for such a time as this, to help humanity when our fight is the most intense. We need the type of solution that has the most intense nutritional power-packed value to help us fight in this day and hour. Marlena, was there anything else you wanted to say before I stop the recording?
You can turn off the recording. I have a question. I mean, it's not.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. Share, like, and send, and enjoy.